Monday. Welcome to Stitched Up Weekly episode 19. So I've been at work, it's early evening and I still haven't finished editing last week's vlog, so I'm going to get that done this evening and get that up and uploaded. And I've come home, had my tea and I've had a fabric delivery, so I've got some lovely fabrics to show you actually. I bought one of the new Atelier Brunette fabrics from Lamazi Fabrics. I think it was just the beginning of last week or the end of the week before, and I bought it on pre-order from them and it's come today, and oh my, it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I thought you'd like to see that, which is this one here. It is a viscose twill, I believe. I think it is anyway, and it's just gorgeous. They do it in two colourways. I love the other colourway as well, which I think is like a white and a blue. But I mean, you know, it's expensive fabric, isn't it? There's no way I could afford both. Well, I suppose I could if I stopped buying so much fabric, but no, I just got this version for now anyway. But it's just lovely, isn't it? It's really, really pretty. I think I got 3 meters of this, so thank you, Liana. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to get this in the wash and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to make with it, and I think the reason for that is because it's so beautiful. I want to do it justice, so yeah, I'll have to have a little think about what I want to make with that. And I also have had a Colville Fabrics delivery. I bought 3 fabrics from Mark just over a week ago, not from the sale but just from during the week, and these are beautiful fabrics, really lovely. The first one is this t-shirt jersey, and it's a big floral print and it's just gorgeous. Look at that, how beautiful is that? So if I stand back I'll be able to show you better. Quick battery change there. Right, fabric. So yes, this is it that I got from Colville, and I've got 3 meters of it because he does everything in 3 meters, doesn't he? But it's beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Really, really, really like it. It's gorgeous. So yeah, this will be a dress of some sort. It's got really good stretch, obviously widthways. Lengthways there's no stretch at all, so yeah, love that one. And then the other 2 I got, the first one I got was a Liverpool crepe. So the Sirocco that I made last week, I made out of a Liverpool crepe from Mark that I got last year, and I've been eyeing up this one that he's had, which is this one here. So again, if I stand back you'll be able to see a little bit better. It's gorgeous, really like that, and I think I'm going to make another Sirocco because I just love that. I just love that jumpsuit. It's so beautiful. It's so, I just think it fits really nicely. It's really comfortable to wear, so yeah, really pleased with that. And the final one was this linen, and it's a patterned linen, which is unusual to see, to be honest, to get a full linen, and this was like 3 meters for £12. It's just amazing. So this is it here. So I mean, it's quite wild, isn't it? But it's like a floral linen, and I think that's really nice. I really like it. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'll just bring that in a bit closer so you can have a look. Really nice. It's a good quality linen, is this actually. It's a good weight to it. So yeah, so 4 new fabrics to find some room for them to go in, but they're going to go in the wash first. Right, I am going to get on with editing last week's vlog. I have done most of it. There's just another little bit that I need to add in and get that uploaded. So I'll see you soon. Hello and happy Tuesday. So I didn't come on again last night, mainly because I had to spend the entire evening finishing off editing and uploading last week's vlog. And I'm having loads of issues with my Mac at the minute because it just constantly tells me I've got really heavy memory usage, and that means that it's just really slow. So I've constantly got the spinning beach ball, it crashes, and I don't know what the issue is. I don't have any apps open that I don't need open. I have got Clean My Mac, which is a paid for program, I guess, that sorts everything out and gets rid of all the rubbish that you don't need on there. And I have deleted everything out of iMovie apart from the vlog I'm working on. So I don't know what the issue is. I've cleared all the cache files, and yeah, so anybody who's a bit of a Mac guru, will you just let me know what I can do next? Yeah, so it ended up, although even though I had edited lots of clips from last week anyway, I was doing it as I went along last week, it still ended up where it was 10:30 last night before I'd finished. So yeah, so that wasn't fun. Anyway, at work, it's lunchtime and I've come for a lunchtime walk. The weather's finally got a bit better up here in Yorkshire. I think down in the south of England they've been having beautiful weather the last couple of days, but here we've had rain and dull, dark skies, but the sun has finally arrived and I think we're in for a bit of a heat wave over the next few days. Not that I will enjoy much of it because I'm working, but that's fine. So I am wearing totally me made today, apart from my scarf. I've got a scarf on. Yeah, I've got the flounce top from Ellie and Mac on, which I made a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week actually, at the end of the previous week's vlog, and I still haven't hemmed it actually, but it's come out very big and it's not really exactly what I was looking for, but it's fine tucked in, and I've got it on with a pair of green wide leg trousers that are I think this pattern is the peppermint ones, but I'm not quite sure. This is a organic green twill that I got from Fabworks a couple of years ago. It's lovely actually, it's really nice fabric. So yes, I've come for my little walk to enjoy a bit of fresh air and a bit of sunshine. When I get home later, I am going to, well, there's a couple of patterns that I have chosen. I've actually ordered some embroidery threads today. Well, no, I ordered them yesterday. I've got them coming today because I have an embroidery unit with my sewing machine. It is a dual sewing and embroidery machine, and I sort of dabbled a little bit in the embroidery tutorials when I first got it, but haven't done anything on it since. And I think the reason for that is because I've only got 2 or 3 embroidery threads, and yeah, I really need to sort of have a few more, really, to have a proper play. And anyway, I've bought a pack of embroidery threads of all different colours because I really want to, there's a dress that I've seen that I really want to try and recreate, and it has embroidery around the top and it's beautiful. So I'm going to have a go at playing with the embroidery on my machine and doing some practice versions first and seeing if I can really get to grips with it, so that I can have a go at recreating that dress. I haven't chosen a pattern as yet. There is, I mean, the dress, if you look at I'll put the picture of it up here, but the skirt part of the dress is a simple gathered skirt with, it's not even tiered, it looks tiered, but I think that's because of where they've placed the pom-pom trim. But if you look closely, it's got a shirred waist, and then the top is a very simple top. It's a little bit loose fitting, I think, around the waist where it's shirred in, and it's got all that gorgeous embroidery on. So I'm going to have a little play, have a look at what patterns I've got, because I'm sure I've got a pattern that I can recreate that bodice and then just attach it to a simple gathered skirt and then put all the embellishment on. I think that'll work. So I'm planning to have a little think about that. I've also pulled out a pattern, a quick sew pattern. I don't really have many quick sew patterns because the designs they have don't really sort of gel with me. But there was Sian did she did it the other week actually, the wrap over style pants, and I think she used was it a new look pattern, I think, and it's an out of print pattern, but I found this pattern ages ago and bought it. It's a quick sew one which is very similar, so I want to have a go at those as well. And I've chosen some Georgette out of my stash that I'm thinking will work. It's just cheap stuff that I think I can twirl it with, because I was thinking about that a Atelier brunette fabric last night and thinking that might look nice. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to twirl that pattern anyway, so I may cut that out tonight. So yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around, show you where I'm going. This is a new route that I found when I come to work on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's a new little route and it's really pretty. So I'll catch up with you soon. Right, so it's Tuesday evening and had tea, and I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. My embroidery threads have come today and I've set up my machine to do some embroidery. Now, this is the first time I've done this, so I don't know what it's going to turn out like, but I'll give you a quick look and show you what I'm doing. Right, so my needle thread broke, so I've got this weird tail going on, but that's the design I'm stitching out currently, and I have chosen the wrong colour thread to start with, because obviously I'm doing the, I don't know if I can get that out of the way, to be honest. Hang on. Right, so, okay. It's all very clever. Really clever. Right, we'll let it do its thing, and we'll see what this ends up looking like. Hello and happy Wednesday. So I'm home from work. Oh gosh, what a hot day it's been. Although I haven't seen much of the weather because I have been stuck in a room with no windows all day, so that hasn't been much fun. But I've come home and I am literally melting. My feet are really swollen. This has happened for the last 2 days now, and I have never had that before, so that's a little bit concerning. My left one particularly, it's actually feeling quite tight and painful. So anyway, I thought I would show you how the embroidery ended up last night. Yeah, not totally successful, but then I didn't expect it, because obviously it's the first time I've ever done any embroidery on my sewing machine. So let me just talk you through what I've done. Obviously this piece isn't even finished. You can see there's a fair bit of puckering around there. But the thing that's more bothering me is the fact that if you look, you can see the bobbin thread has been pulled through to the top side. Now, I did put a question up on the peeps group about it. This is just a plain cotton. I've used tearaway stabiliser underneath. This is a viscose thread by Marathon, so it's a top quality thread. The bobbin thread is the lighter weight bobbin thread that you use for embroidery. It's the proper stuff. I have got the right foot on. I've got the embroidery foot on that's hopefully going to focus and you can see that, and the bobbin is threaded correctly. The needle isn't a proper embroidery needle, so everything is set up correctly. The tension of the top thread, it's all threaded correctly because I've checked that. The tension is automatic on this machine. You don't reset it yourself. Even the bobbin tension and everything is all fed correctly. So I know that all that is okay. The one thing that I had an issue with that I think has caused the problem is that I don't think I had this tight enough in the hoop. And the reason I say that is because if you look, you can see where this flower is over this bit here and it shouldn't be. Because what actually happened was there was one point when it was stitching, I think it was this little bit here, where it started chewing up the fabric underneath down into the throat plate, and I'm pretty sure that's because this wasn't tight enough in the hoop. So obviously I had to stop the machine, sort that out and restart it, and it didn't restart at the point that I'd stopped it, if that makes sense. So obviously I didn't complete the project because there was no point wasting the thread. I'd already sort of done a little bit of it and could see that I'd got some issues, but it was a practice. It's the first one I've done, and yeah, I think that was the issue. So I am going to have another go, but I'm going to choose a much simpler design, because the whole purpose of this was just to have a little play about with the machine and the embroidery and have a little go at it, because I've had this machine 2 or 3 years now, and apart from a very, very little dabble into it when I first got it, I have not touched it since, from an embroidery perspective. And then I bought myself, well, basically what I'd got is I've got these embroidery threads that I'd bought initially. This is it here, what I'd been using, Marathon, I think. Hopefully, if that ever focuses. It's not going to focus, okay, but it's Marathon embroidery thread anyway. But these were the only ones that I had, so I think another reason why I'd not really dabbled much further was because I didn't have a huge choice of embroidery threads. And then I was sent to Amazon to get a pack of these, the Brother embroidery threads, and there's 60 odd in here, and they're all the colours of the rainbow, which is just lovely. So I thought, now I've got enough, you know, decent colours that I can really have a go at, I'm going to have a little practice. So yeah, I'm going to have another go. I mean, I stopped this last night because it was getting late. It was about 9:30 when I'd got this out, and you know, I'd had enough by then. I'd been at work all day, I was tired. So I've just left it set up as I'd finished last night. But I am going to have another go, and I'm probably going to do it at the weekend because I want to sew. I have bought the Bondi dress by Tessuti Patterns, and they are, I think, an Australian company. Please excuse me for being ignorant, because I'm not sure whether they're Australian or New Zealand, but I love their patterns. I've made a couple of their patterns before, namely the Alice top and also the Lenny top, I think it is, and also the Claudia dress, and they're amazing. Their instructions are great, their pattern drafting is impeccable, and the finishing techniques are amazing as well. The Claudia dress, I love it for summer. Made out of linen, it's just beautiful. And the hem, it's got side splits, I'll put a picture of it here, but it's got side splits, and it's got a hem that's all mitered, so it looks so neat and tidy on the inside. It's really clever. And yeah, I made that a couple of years ago when we went to Portugal, and I wore it loads, and yeah, it's going to be coming out of my closet soon to be wearing it again. But yeah, I bought the Bondi dress a couple of days ago after seeing Lisa from And So On. She's just made it, and she looks amazing in it, but she looks amazing in everything. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, you know what, I've been hankering after that pattern ever since I made the Claudia, to be honest, and I've just never got around to buying it, and I thought I'm going to go buy it. So I bought it, and I've just stuck the pattern together, and I just wanted to show you the pattern if you've not seen Tessuti Patterns before, because they do look a little bit different to the patterns that you'll be familiar with if you've never made a Tessuti pattern before. As I say, I've just stuck the pattern sheets together for the Bondi dress, and if you look, it almost looks as if it's been hand drawn, because all the writing on it is just in sort of freehand script, really, I guess. But don't let that sort of make you nervous and think, oh, are these not drafted very well? Because it really is. There's 2 pattern sheets to this dress by the looks of it. You've got, I'll be honest, I don't think that it's great use of paper with the way they have you print off the pattern, because what they do is, all the facings are here, but all the facings are just done in sections of 3 sizes. So you've got the 6, 8, 10 front hem facing there, and the 12, 14, 16 front hem facing there, and so obviously just the facings and the armhole bindings and neck bindings are just on the one sheet here. So you've got a lot of sheets, you've got a big sheet there that I've just stuck together just on facings and hem bindings really, which is probably not the best use of paper, but who am I to argue on that? And then the other thing that they do as well is they have these little bits called Vilene shields, if I can find one. Oh, here we go, look, so here's one. Bondi dress back neck Vilene shield, and all this is really, it's for interfacing. So, you know, I don't tend to cut these bits out and use them. I will just interface the bits that need interfacing, but that's just, you know, you know that through experience. If you're more of a beginner, then yeah, use these, but it's essentially it's for the interface, it's just the interfacing bits. So yeah, so it's not, obviously I don't think their pattern placement is the greatest use of paper to, you know, if you're trying to be a bit economical with paper, and especially when it's PDF patterns because you've got to print them out. But essentially this dress, I am going to make it. The other thing I would say about Tessuti Patterns as well is that I do find them a little bit generous on the size, if that makes sense. I'm not sure whether it's just their design aesthetic, because a lot of their designs are meant to be loose fitting anyway. But I have found the Claudia dress was perfect, it fit me perfect, but the Lenny top and the Alice top were both a little bit generous, and I ended up going down a size on the Alice top, a size smaller than what I would have done by my body measurements, mainly because my experience with the Lenny top was, although it was a loose fitting top, it was very, very oversized when it was finished and it just felt too big. So I deliberately went down a size with the Lenny, with the Alice, and that fit me fine. I'm going to just have a look now at the instructions, because I didn't print the instructions out. I tend not to bother with that. I tend to just have that up on my computer screen. It saves paper, doesn't it? And I'm going to have a look at what size I'm going to pick. Alright, so we've got the Bondi dress pattern here. Oh, doesn't it look just gorgeous? This is just perfect for me for summer. I've got some linen in my stash that I'm going to make this out of, which I'll show you in a minute. So, sizing instructions, obviously this is Australian sizing, which I am not familiar with, and they are in metric, not imperial, which we tend to use in the UK. Well, we tend to use a mixture of both, but bust, waist and hip. Now, it does tell you the finished measurements here, look. So, the size 6 finished measurement is a 38-inch bust. The size 8 is a 40 and the 10 is a 42. Hip size 10 is 46. So I think what I'm going to do is, because my full bust measurement is about 37 and a half at the minute, 38. I'll have to measure it again, to be honest, but my hips are 45. So I think I'm going to grade between an 8 and a 10. If you look at the body measurements as opposed to the finished garment measurements, the size 6 bust is 81, and that's in centimetres obviously, and then you've got 15 centimetres of ease at the bust. So that tells you, I mean, obviously it needs to have ease looking at the design, it's not supposed to be fitted, but 15 centimetres, that's what, how many inches? 6 inches of ease. That seems an awful lot. So I think I'm going to go for the 8 at the bust and then the 10 hip, so that I've just got that little bit of ease. So you've got a long dress or a shorter dress in this as well. I'm going to go for the shorter one because I've made a lot of maxis lately and I think I just want something a bit shorter for summer, but I probably will just lengthen this a little bit. And just to show you a little bit more of the instructions, you do get your meterage of how much fabric you need. The shorter one is only 1.5 meters of fabric, so it doesn't take a lot. It's got side seam pockets in. Now I will say that the way these are drafted for Tessuti Patterns, I do like their side seam pockets. Normally I'm not a fan because they tend to stick out and enlarge my hips that are already large enough, thank you very much. But I do find, because I did, the Claudia dress has side seam pockets, and the way they are made, they actually don't stick out. So I think I will put side seam pockets in this particular dress. And then, yeah, all the instructions, you've got lovely photographs to guide you and help you through. So it's really good. They're really good patterns. So right, let me go get the fabric and I'll show you what I'm going to use. Right, so this is my fabric, this lovely linen. I got this from Colville a few weeks ago actually, and I bought it after seeing the lovely Jane's Sophia dungarees that she made. They were just amazing. She made those out of this fabric, I think. So yeah, got this linen. It's really lovely actually. It's got a really nice drape to it. 3 meters of this I got, and I think it was £12, £15, something like that. So I think it will be perfect for the Bondi dress. So let's get this cut out. Right, so I just wanted to show you the pattern placement. So this is the back pattern piece, which is in 2 separate pieces, so it's not cut on the fold. Front pattern piece is there, which I have altered. I have dropped the dart by ½ an inch, and I've also lengthened by 2 inches as well, and the same on the back piece. So they're the only pieces that I've altered. We've got a back yoke which is there, which we cut 2 of. Pocket is here, which is slightly unusual shape. We've got the neck binding and armhole binding, and then the front facings for the hem there, and then a button loop. So those 3 pieces need to be cut on the bias. Those 2 pieces need to be cut on the fold. So I'm going to get the main pieces cut out first, and then we'll move the fabric up and I can cut the rest out. You do have a couple of optional pieces. Well, it mentions the shorter length and the longer length, but I think actually the short length is really short and the longer length is knee length. I don't think it is actually maxi length at all. So I've just, obviously they're the hem facings for the shorter length, which I have excluded, and this is an optional hem edging as well. I'm not really sure what that's for, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to get this cut out and then we'll crack on. Hello and happy Friday. So I didn't end up filming anything yesterday because I've not had the best couple of days, to be honest. Just a few bits and pieces going on, but I've not been in the best frame of mind. Anyway, the working week is over for some. I am working Sunday and I'm doing a 12-hour shift as well, which I'm not very happy about, but it is what it is. So I've got tomorrow off anyway, and I've got Monday off, which is really good. So I have finished the Bondi dress. I made this up last night, and obviously you can't see it very well because I've got a cardigan on. If I just put you down and take my cardigan off, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Right, so this is it here, and I really love it. I do really love it. I know this style. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think this, I don't think this style does a lot for me, I'll be honest, but I really like it because it's comfy, and when it's really hot it's just really wearable. So it has bias bound neckline and armholes. It's got a really nice sort of keyhole detail at the back. I hope you can see that there, with a little rouleau loop and button fastening at the top. It's got top stitching. It has got a yoke there. I don't know if you can see it. You can probably just see the top stitching lines just there, and the front and back centre seam is top stitched as well. If I just put the camera down a little bit, fingers crossed, it's got these amazing side seam pockets, and I love the way Tessuti does these because it has, the side seam is sort of like just indented just slightly, and the pockets are stitched, top stitched to the front bodice piece. So it's really cool. So if I just step back, you can just see where it comes to. It's just hitting just on my knee, which I'm not sure it's the most flattering length. I think perhaps if I'd made it just above my knee, it might be just a bit more flattering. I look so tired tonight, don't I? I'm just finding my new job really stressful, I'll be honest. I think because it's new and it's very demanding, very busy, and you know, I'm still settling in, and because of the social distancing and everything, I can't get to know people, so trying to find my way around everything and learn their particular ways is really hard. So yeah, that's just how it is, isn't it? And it's not the best time to start a new job, but I do put myself through these things, don't I? Anyway, getting back to the dress, I love it. This linen fabric I got from Colville Fabrics. So I'm not sure if I mentioned that the other night. It probably took me a couple of hours to put this together. The hem band at the front is like a facing, and I haven't stitched it together very well along the bottom at the front. I just need to unpick a bit of that and redo it, but I'm just far too tired at the minute to do that, so I won't be doing that tonight. Haven't filmed much at all this week so far. I have got a load of new fabrics that I'm probably going to film a vlog showing those, because there's a lot of new fabrics that have come in. And yeah, I think I mean, I've got nothing cut out at the minute. Well, I do. I actually have I've got an Alien Mac cami top cut out, but I've not actually got round to sewing that up yet, and I don't know if I'm in the mood for it, to be honest. I've come home and there's a few fabrics that have fallen off my fabric stash and ended up on the floor, so I'm going to have to tidy that up. I've got loads of ironing to do tonight, so, and I've been putting that off all week, but I'm going to have to just get on with it, bite the bullet and do it. But no, I really love this dress. I have to say, Tessuti Patterns are really, really good. Their instructions are really good, but as I say, the sizing is, I mean, it does say it's Australian sizing. I don't know what that is equivalent to, but I made a size 8 top and graded out to a 10 at the hip, and there's plenty of room in this. So I don't know what that equates to in UK sizing. It's irrelevant, isn't it, really? But it's just to give you an idea. I am in a ready to wear, I would say I'm a definite UK 14 at the minute, 16 hip. I know that doesn't mean anything in pattern sizes, but if that just sort of gives you an idea, I'm 5'10", obviously. I did lengthen this pattern. I put a good 2 inches in. I dropped the bust dart by ½ an inch, and that's worked out pretty well. And yeah, as I say, I've lengthened it by about 2 inches as well. And I sewed this up after I'd had a glass of wine, which is not the best time to be sewing a new pattern, is it, that you've not done before? But hey ho. In for a penny, in for a pound. So those of you that watched my Show Us Your Stash 2020 vlog that I posted a few days ago will have seen this fabric. And yeah, I mentioned in that vlog that I was going to make the Ella blouse out of this because it gave me some inspiration. So it's now Saturday morning. I'm having a PJ day. I've not been up long, so I'm not showing you my face yet. But yeah, I'm going to have a go at making this, and I've dug out my pattern. Well, actually, I dug out this pattern last week and then I lost it, and Martin's found it for me, so that was really good. I've just ironed my pattern sheets because I've only made this once a few years ago when it first came out, and I do need to alter this pattern because it is really, really short, and it's designed to be cropped, as you can see on Lisa there, but it is too cropped on me. It's far too short, so I am going to have a go at lengthening this. I think the reason I didn't do it last time was because I was a bit unsure where to lengthen it, because you don't want to lengthen in between the pleats because it will disrupt the pleats, but if I go above the pleats I'm almost to the underarm point, but I think that's probably where I'm going to have to do it. Otherwise I will have to do it here, and then I don't think the pleats will look right. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably do it just from under the underarm. That's obviously the front piece. The back piece is easy, but yeah, I'm going to add on at least an inch, I think, maybe even an inch and a half, because I think that will just give me better coverage. So I'll get this adjusted, and then the plan is with the fabric is that I am going to try, I don't know how much of this I've got, it feels like a fair bit, so I'm hoping I will have enough, but the plan is that I am going to use these sort of stripes in the fabric to have the bodice going sort of both ways, the stripe going both ways, and I'll have the stripe vertical on the back piece. So I'm hoping to play about with the print a little bit and see if we can do that. So let's see how we get on. So I thought I'd just show you what I've done. It was really difficult actually to lengthen this, and this is what annoys me with some independent pattern companies. You know, you pay a lot for the patterns and that's fine, but the whole point of sewing is we're not all standard sizes and standard heights, and we need to adjust our patterns and at least put the basics on, such as lengthen and shorten lines. You know, you get that on commercial patterns, and I just think, please do it, because, you know, some of us are really tall. Anyway, rant over. I have lengthened it by 1.5 inches, and I had to do it before it started cutting into the front wrap seam. So it means I've got these funny little jutted out pieces here, but I have sort of folded up where the pleats are going to go, and I think it's going to be okay. So yeah, we'll leave that like that. The back bodice piece I have just adjusted in more or less the same position as the front bodice, again 1.5 inches. So that's the only adjustments I've needed to make. And then the other, it's only 4 pattern pieces this, so fingers crossed it should be okay. We've got obviously the front, the back facing, and then the belt, which is just over there. So I'm going to lay the fabric out and have a little play with it and see if we can get this to look something like I want it to look. Right, so best way to do something like this is do it on a single, you know, not on the fold. Have your fabric so it's fully flat out, and then mirror your images of your pattern. I've just literally just put this pattern piece on the fabric because what I'm wanting is, this is obviously, well, this is a pleat line here, and then you've obviously got your seam allowance just up here as well. And what I'm wanting is, I'm wanting the edge of the wrap to be on the pink part of the fabric, and then obviously the rest of it going that way. So I'm just trying to sort of lay it out so that when I've seamed this, that the pink stripe is more or less on the edge. So I'm thinking that that's probably not too bad. So I'm going to put the camera down and yeah, get this cut out and see how we get on. Right, so I just thought I'd show you before I cut out the other front bodice piece what I've done. I've flipped over the pattern piece. So remembering, if you're doing it this way, you're going to have to mirror your images. And then I've just laid the bodice piece that I've cut out over the top of that so that I can align the pattern to more or less try and match it. I'm not going to be 100% matching because this is quite a busy stripe, so I'm not bothered about being dead on, but I do want it to obviously flow at the shoulder seams. So I have just laid this on top, and you need to be really careful with this because remember, a lot of this pattern piece is now cut on the bias, and it's going to stretch out, especially with it being viscose. So I want to be really, really careful with it. So what I'm going to do when I've cut this piece out is I am going to put some fusible stay tape along that front edge there, and then I'll be happy with it. But I think that's more or less, looking at the pattern piece there, it's more or less going to be in alignment with the pattern, with the black sort of stripes. So I'm fairly happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is carefully remove this pattern piece that I've cut out so that I don't stretch it out of shape, and then cut that piece out. And then the rest of the pattern pieces we can cut on the fold. Although I will need to just be careful with the back pattern piece, wherever that's gone. This one here, because I want to make sure that the back, wherever we are, there we go. Obviously that's the back shoulder seam there. I want to make sure that that aligns up with the stripes as well, so that as it comes over the shoulder it's going to look right. So fingers crossed. Okay, so you've just seen me cutting out the Ella blouse, and I'm having a PJ day today. So these aren't homemade, by the way. They're fat face pyjamas that I got at Christmas. So yeah, that's my Saturday. It's really windy today. It was really windy yesterday actually. We're not having the weather up here in Yorkshire that they are having down south, which is a shame, but hey ho, that's how it goes, isn't it? And Martin is painting the kitchen ceiling in the kitchen, funnily enough. Yeah, he's just priming it at the minute, so it's dried really well actually, so I'm really pleased. It was very dodgy, was that ceiling, and we were really worried about the plaster just cracking and falling off, but it seems to be okay. I've had a couple of comments. Well, I had a comment on last week's vlog last night telling me to stop touching my face and touching my hair, and I guess it's one of those little things that people sometimes do. We all do these things, don't we, that can be quite irritating to others, and they're just our little quirks, aren't they? And I guess what I would say is that I am aware that I do it. I am aware that I say yeah a lot as well on camera, but you know, I'm not a professional presenter, I'm afraid, and this is me, and these vlogs are, you know, me with all my failings and quirks, etc, etc, and I'll try my best to not do little things that annoy people and irritate people, but I can't promise, so that's that. Right, anyway, I'm going to get on with getting this Ella blouse sewn up. I have just interfaced the back facing, and I've also interfaced, well, used the fusible stay tape, that's it. I've used that to just support the diagonal neckline of the front wrap bodice as well. Painted my nails last night as well. This is a colour that I've got from Next. The fingernail that was, you can't see that at all, can you? That fingernail that was damaged by my sewing machine last month is growing out quite nicely now, so I'm pleased with that. And yeah, it should be okay. But yeah, I quite like this colour. It's nice, isn't it? So it's quite muted. Yeah, so anyway, right, let's get on with some sewing. Right, I've just had one of those moments, you know, one of those moments when you're looking at your pattern piece and think something's not right. None of you told me, did you? Anyway, I just realised that instead of lengthening the bodice, I lengthened the sleeve on the back piece instead, which is just really stupid, isn't it? And I didn't even notice that until I was about to put the darts in the back bodice piece, and then thought, this piece isn't lengthened, why? And I looked again at the pattern piece and realised I'd lengthened the sleeve instead. So I've just been and altered the pattern piece and cut out a new back piece, because obviously I need it a bit longer. So anyway, fortunately I had plenty of fabric left, but that's a bit disappointing. I did want to use that fabric that I had left to make something else, but I'm not going to be able to now because I don't have enough. But at least I had enough to cut out a new back piece. So yeah, another lesson there, double check before you cut. Right, so it's done. Ella blouse. I love it. I'm really pleased with how this has come out. Obviously I've got the stripes going vertical on the back bodice, and then over the top it's obviously just cutting across, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I'm wearing it just with a black circle skirt that I made last year that I've never hemmed, because I was going to put it on with my jeans, my black jeans, but I think they're in the wash because I can't find them and I don't have anything else high-waisted that's plain to be able to show it off. But I do really like it. I've got a bit of a loose thread under there, I've just noticed. But yeah, it's probably taken me about 2.5 hours altogether, and I really like it. I'm really pleased that I lowered the waist. I lowered it by about 1.5 inches, and I definitely needed that. What I like about this blouse is the wrap is quite high, so you get lots of coverage, but obviously you can, you know, you can either have it over your bust, which I don't think looks right, to be honest. I like it to go sort of in between. I just think that's really pretty. But yeah, standing back, I'm really pleased. I'm really glad now that I took some time to think about that challenge and chose a fabric, pulled a fabric out of my stash that's been in there for a number of years, and you know, it gave me the oh, this is coming undone, look, gave me the inspiration to make something new with some fabric that I've had in my stash for a long time. Really pleased. I'm going to put the camera down so that you can have a look at it in a little bit more detail. Right, so there we go. I really like it. I'm so pleased that I did that with the, you know what I mean, with the print. I just think it really works really well. I haven't been able to, and you can see there, I've not been able to pattern match the seams very well at all. But, you know, I think that looks intentional, doesn't it? So it was the best I could do, because obviously I had made the boo-boo with cutting the back piece, pattern piece, and adding the extra into the sleeve instead of the you know, the length of the bodice. Then it meant that when I cut the new back pattern piece out, I just didn't have enough to be able to, yeah, to be able to sort of pattern match it. But I'm pleased with how it's come out anyway. I think it's really pretty. I love the back of it. I think that's really nice, and I think I'll get lots of wear out of it. It's definitely going to be able to wear this with my jeans. But yeah, I really like it. It's, oops, there we go. Yeah, I really like it. It's a really pretty top, and I'm glad that I finally used this fabric. So, right, I'm going to grab myself a coffee, and then it's only, what time are we on? It's only 11:30 Saturday morning, so it's not taken me too long really. And I know lots of people think that I can sew really fast, and it's not that I can sew fast, because I think I probably sew at the same speed as everybody else. I think it's just that I'm not frightened of fabric, and I'm not frightened of making an error. Not with, yeah, if it was really expensive fabric, then I would really take, you know, a lot more care, I think. But, you know, I try to be precise, and I try to be accurate with my cutting out and, you know, my seam allowances and everything, but I'm just not afraid of it. So I think when it comes to sort of putting, you know, pattern pieces together and stitching, I will just go for it, and I don't sort of, you know, hesitate, I guess. And I think that's where the speed comes in. And also I think there's other things, like when it comes to pressing, like for this, for example, it's got darts in the front bodice, darts in the back bodice, and then obviously you've got the pleats in the bodice as well. And I think what I did with this was I did all the darts and then took it to the sewing machine, so the ironing board, to press the darts. So I didn't do the darts in the front bodice, then press them, then do the darts in the back bodice, then press them. And so I do as much as I can before I need to go to the ironing board to do any pressing, and I think that helps speed things up as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't always use pins as well. You know, when it comes to pinning front and backs together and shoulder seams, if it's a very narrow shoulder seam, I generally won't pin it. I will just measure it up. It depends on the fabric, obviously, but I will tend to just hold the two fabric pieces together and then sew it, and don't pin it. So I think it's all those kinds of things that all together can save you a little bit of time. And it's not that I'm recommending that as a method of sewing for you. You know, everybody has to find their own way, don't they? But for me, it tends to work. So I think that's why I can end up putting something together quite quickly. But obviously remember, I mean, as I've said, this took me 2.5 hours, I would say, altogether, including cutting out. But remember, I already had the pattern cut out. It was just, I just needed to make that one alteration to lengthen the bodice. That was it. And so it's not like I had to start from scratch with tracing out the pattern, cutting out the pattern, and then do lots of alterations and that kind of thing, which obviously eats into your time, doesn't it? So anyway, I'm just waffling on, aren't I? I am loving it. I really love it. I'm really pleased that I got the pink around the neck. I just think that's really flattering, and yeah, really happy with it. So right, coffee time, and then we'll get on to what I'm planning next. Right, we are just nipping out. I'm going to say good morning.
Morning.
We're just nipping out, and apart from work,
Actually, to be fair, it's afternoon. It's 9 minutes past 12.
Okay, right, yeah, afternoon. So yeah, we're just nipping out. I've not been out for
out
for a long time. As you know, I'm working all week, and I've been working all this week. I've been in every evening. I've not even been out walking because of my hip. So I've been trying to rest it as much as possible. It is on the mend now. I've just got a little niggle, but I think it needs another week's rest before I try to run on it again. So we've heard on the grapevine that Boys, our little northern shop that has everything you could ever want in it at really good prices, is open again from 10 till 4. So
hurrah!
We're just having a look because Martin wants some paints for his tank thing that he's doing.
There's nothing wrong. I don't mock you sewing, don't mock my model building.
Okay.
At least I'm not a drunk.
Well, I don't know. And then, yes, so then I wanted to look to see, obviously, if they've got any new fabrics in, because it's so long.
We haven't got a lot of fabric left in our stash, as all you ladies know. It's a very small stash, so we have to keep it.
I've sewn one up this morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you work on the basis of use one piece, replace with 10.
Anyway, so and also I want to see if they've got any sort of little metal washers, because the Fimo that I ordered nearly 2 weeks ago finally came this morning. Well, one set has, another set hasn't, and it's by the same seller on eBay, so I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, I've got one set that's arrived.
And they sell Fimo in Boys.
Do they?
Yes.
Ooh, I didn't know that. So anyway, we're going to go have a look, and yeah, I'm going to have a look what fabrics they've got. I also want to look at wool as well, because
oh god,
I'm going to edit these bits out, and yeah, we'll just see. We'll see how big the queue is, because I'm not one for queuing, and I think this is another reason why I've not really been anywhere, because I hate queuing, and at the best of times, and at the minute with things as they are, it's, you know, everywhere you go you've got a queue, haven't you? So we shall see. We'll see what happens when we get there. Right, so I am in the process of making some pattern weights. I am using this little mould that I bought, which is a Jammy Dodger mould. Hopefully that's going to focus very well. And I bought some Fimo. My Fimo's come today. It's taken about a week and a half, but I have cut out the top of the Jammy Dodgers. The weights are inside the jam that's going to be in the middle, and they're the bottoms. And I've just sent Martin to the shop to get some Gorilla Glue so that I can stick them together before they go in the oven. So fingers crossed they come out looking like Jammy Dodgers. We shall see what happens. So now the blouse is done, we're back from shopping, and I have bought some fabric, but it's just on the washing line at the minute. It's been in the wash and it's out there, hopefully staying on the line because it's so windy. And I am going to make the by Hand London half circle skirt with the wrap around and the big flounce on. I'll put a picture of Elisa Lex in here that she did it, and she's got a tutorial on the By Hand London website, so I thought I'd have a go at it. So I have cut out the pattern sheets that I need for my waist size, and as I say, I'm going to do that as soon as that fabric has dried. So in the meantime, we are going to see Bronte on Monday, and obviously in the UK now we are allowed to go visit one person who isn't part of our household. I've not seen my daughter since the beginning of March, so I'm desperate to see her because she's been really poorly, as a lot of you know, and she's still not right, and they're doing more investigations at the minute, so I'm desperate to see her. So I am going to make her Dave the Dachshund. Bronte is mad on sausage dogs, and I've cut out these little templates that are on the Sew magazine website. Basically you can download the templates and it's got the instructions on what you do. So I've got loads of little fat quarters, and I thought while I'm waiting for my fabric to dry so I can get on with that circle skirt, I'm going to whip up this little dachshund so that I can take that for her on Monday. So so let's see how we get on. It's done! The little dachshund, look! I've put him a little, oh, you can't even see, I've put him a little bow on. I'm hoping she'll be impressed. I didn't get the hem of the little back piece tucked in very well there, but never mind, it'll be fine. I'm sure she'll love him all the same. He's pretty cute, isn't he? So yeah, it's come together okay. Right, I am going to go see if my batik fabric that's on the washing line is done, and then I'll get that ironed and then we can crack on with the circle skirt. Right, so the skirt is finished, so let me just put you down and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so here it is. So this is the By Hand London tutorial to make a half circle skirt with the flounce, and it's really lovely. I really like it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I've just put it on with a black vest top, but right, hopefully you can see that, but it's really lovely. I really like it. So this fabric is the fabric that I got from Boys today, and it's just a cotton. I think it's a batik, a cotton batik, but it was £5 a metre, and I bought 5 metres altogether because with it being a batik fabric it is very narrow, but it was perfect for this skirt. But yeah, I just followed the tutorial on the By Hand London website. I will link to it down below so you can go check it out if you want, but I really like it. Really like it. So yeah, hopefully you can see how the flounce works at the front. And this gorgeous batik, it's beautiful. But yeah, it was actually really straightforward to do. The tutorial has you use the By Hand London circle skirt calculator thing to, you put in obviously your waist measurement, and then you actually pick the half circle skirt and the mini length, because obviously it needs to be the mini length so that you can then add on the flounce, and then you just follow the tutorial once you've got that measurement. That gives you your waist radius, and yeah, you just follow the tutorial to create the wrap and the flounces, and it works really well. I'm really happy with it. I made mine just a couple of inches longer than Elise Lex suggested. I think she said something like 17 to 19 inches, and I think I did mine 21, and then you add on another 10 inches for the flounce. And yeah, it's a lovely skirt. I really like it. So I don't have a top to wear with it, that's the only thing, so I've just put this on for now. But I do have a couple of meters of that fabric left, and I was watching the Fold Line vlog earlier, the one where they discussed the sewing bee pattern picks this week, and one of the patterns she mentioned on there was the Grace top by Named Patterns. I'll put a picture of that here, and I really like that actually, and that's not one I've considered before, so I've gone and bought that, and I think I'm going to make a matching top because I think that will look really nice with this skirt. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So anyway, it's Saturday evening, and normally I carry on my weekly vlogs right through to Sunday, but I'm going to finish it tonight because I'm at work tomorrow, and I'm at work from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, so there's going to be no vlogging tomorrow. So I think I'll just finish the vlog tonight, close it down tonight, and then we can pick things back up again Monday. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. It's probably a bit shorter than normal. Not a great deal has been happening. There's been a couple of bad days, but it's been a good day today to finally get a bit of sewing done. So anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Bye.